Sex Offender Residency Board meeting. We'll start off with roll call. Rachel, do you have all of us?
Yep, I will document it.
Okay, then I will need a approval of the agenda for the October 20th meeting.
I will move, so move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the September 15th meeting of the Sex Offender Residency Board.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We will go on to our regular business, which the first and only appeal we have today is Jason Hall, requesting to move to, let's see here, I think it's 425 Fifth Street, am I correct?
Yes,
Okay, so Jason, it appears that this is your first time appearing before the board, is that correct?
yes, it is.
Okay, so we're going to ask you to explain what you were convicted of, the circumstances surrounding the situation and what led to your arrest. We do ask that you not refer to the victim by name or by relationship. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so yes, if you could go ahead, what you were convicted of and what happened.
I was convicted of second-degree sexual assault of a child. What had happened was that morning I went upstairs and intended on giving her a back rub. Right now my case is currently under appeal. I had given the board a copy of the judgment or the decision by the Third Court of Appeals saying that my case has merit.
Okay, so you were convicted of second assault. You're saying that you intended to give a back rub, but it sounds like there was more to it than a back rub, according to the victim.
According to the victim, yes. She said I touched her breast. And in court, she said I massaged her. The DA said I massaged her breast.
And what, that was a one-time situation?
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. And so you received 5 years incarceration for that,
Yes, I did.
and then 5 years extended supervision?
Correct. Right now, I'm living in a TLP. At the end of this month, I'll be required to leave. According to the landlord for the apartment that I'm asking to move to, he's had sex offenders live there prior. At least that's what he's informed me of. I'm working at Fighter Tech. I'm trying to get my life back on track. I have the support of my family. My brother called in. My daughter was going to try and appear also on Zoom, but she is not able to get it to work. And my direct supervisor was going to appear on Zoom, but apparently he is not able to get it to work either.
So I'd like to go back to your charges again. So how did the police get involved?
Over a week after the event, the victim and her mother, along with some other family members, went to the police department.
and then the police arrived at your home?
Yes, and questioned me and proceeded to take me into custody.
And then, when you went to trial, did you go to trial or did you take a plea?
I went to trial.
Okay, all right. Does any of the board have questions for, Jason, or I'd like to just confirm with Commander Abel that everything is accurate as to what he's saying?
Yes, according to the criminal complaint, he's actually accurate.
Okay, thank you. Board, do you have any questions?
So you have served 5 years,
Yes, I have.
and when were you released?
I was released August 3rd.
Did you participate in any sexual offender treatment?
Faye,
Oh, I
hold
forgot.
on, hold on. Yep, yep. Do you wanna discuss that right now? Well, hold on, Jason, don't say anything. So, Jason, you have the opportunity, when we asked you about treatment, to do that in closed session or public session. What would you prefer to do?
I'll do it in either session, it does not matter.
Okay, well then we'll just stay in public session since it doesn't matter. And then Faye, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Did you participate in any sexual offender treatment?
I was not offered treatment because my case is under appeal.
When did you file the appeal?
The appeal was filed immediately after, or immediately at the hearing. My trial attorney filed it.
Rachel, are you familiar with the way this appeal works? I'm not real knowledgeable in the area of the appeals.
I'm looking to pull it up on CCAP to see, I mean, CCAP is the circuit court record, but I'm
Yeah.
looking on the Court of Appeals version to see if I can get any kind of timeline as far as when briefs were filed, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because it looks like according to the document that he provided us, that was dated October 5th of 2021. And that's through District 3, but I don't know if, is there a process that has to go through Brown County first, then it goes to this District 3, and then it doesn't go to like the 7th district?
If I may.
Yes, you may.
My appellate attorney filed a appeal directly with the circuit court. I'm trying not to expand upon this too much, but she had found multiple errors. She filed only using 2 of them. When that was rejected by the circuit court judge, she filed a no merit report. I responded to the no merit report, and it took over 2 years after my response to get a response back from the Court of Appeals. I believe a lot of it has to do with this COVID situation. And that was the first response back from the Court of Appeals was this letter that I sent in, saying that they do believe my case has some merit.
There was an order that was issued from the Court of Appeals on October 5th. That's the most recent activity. I'm not sure what that order was stating or directing the circuit court to do.
Yeah, that's the one that was included, I think, in his packet. Which said, it is ordered that the no merit report is rejected. The appeal is converted to a merit appeal and the case number is amended.
So that would allow the parties to submit briefs and get back on the briefing calendar.
Okay. Okay, well, this is what I'm just gonna say right now to, actually Jason and the board. Jason, because you haven't had any treatment and you said this is an appeal, you can't go through that at this moment. That is one thing that we really do take into consideration is about whether or not you've received treatment, which makes us more comfortable releasing you back into the community. So right now, I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive about allowing, well, even passing a motion for you to live at this address because of this appeal. But that's just how I feel. I'm not sure how any of the board members feel right now.
Unfortunately, like I say, I'm living at a TLP right now, and I've already had an extension of 30 days, and I do not believe, because they are full up here, that I can get another extension. And if I am denied, and also I had put down, just to hold this apartment, I put down $700 and was told I had to put the utilities in my name already. And if I am denied the apartment, I'm unfortunately going to end up homeless.
Again, that's just my opinion at this moment. We have 3 other board members here where eventually we'll take a vote, but I wanted to know if our board members wanted to discuss anything about it.
I guess I have similar concerns.
Okay.
I,
Go ahead.
I do understand that my charges, what I was convicted of, serious. I put myself in an unattainable situation, and I do not wish to put myself into a situation like that again. I actually intend on installing wireless security cameras throughout there around the apartment, just so, and I have been following the direction of my parole officer, parole agent. Been following everything that I can, trying to do the best that I can in staying within all the restrictions that I have. I just am, basically I'm begging that I am given this opportunity to live in an apartment where I can actually have a place to be. Otherwise, like I said, I am basic homeless, and I do not want that. My oldest daughter was going to call in or join via the conference, but it wasn't allowing her. I don't know why.
Well, Jason, that part, and believe me, we all understand your concerns. But we have certain things that we have to make sure that you have met, for us to allow you to live back in the community. Like I said, and like Faye said, we are concerned that you haven't had any treatment. And maybe it is your case will go to the appeals and your conviction will be overturned. And then maybe you wouldn't need to be getting approval to live in front of the board. But again, for myself, and I think for Faye, right now, we're not comfortable because you have not received any kind of treatment. So, I do see that your brother is on, right? You said it was your brother? And
Yes, he called in.
Yeah, and he'd like to say something on your behalf?
I'm here for support
Joseph, if you could just please state your full name and address for the record.
Joseph J. Hall, 1149 South Oakland Avenue, Green Bay.
Okay, go ahead.
I guess, I'm here for moral support for him, and if anybody has any questions, and I've been sitting here listening. I guess my question, and I don't expect Jason to have an answer or for the board to have an answer, but if he spent 5 years in prison, how come he was never given the opportunity to have any type of treatment? It, to me, sounds like the actual legal system failed.
Actually, as I stated, they refused to give me treatment because my case is under appeal.
Where were you incarcerated?
Oshkosh Correctional Institution. And they said, they brought me in, they said, your case is under appeal. I said, yes, we cannot give you treatment.
How is your probation officer treating you? Treating you as a sexual offender, and do you have all those restrictions?
Yes, I do. I am restricted as to the times I can, or to where I can go. I cannot be at, I cannot go to the mall without a sober chaperone. No contact with anyone under the age of 18. I've been following those restrictions. Even just visiting my oldest daughter, who is 21, I've been filing a sex offender request, activity request.
I have a question. Have you ever looked into possibly getting any treatment yourself through certain organizations?
From my understanding, any kind of treatment that I would be, or would require me to admit guilt, which would therefore violate my Sixth Amendment rights. So
Thank you.
I've thought about it. I even asked, but when they said treatment will require me to admit guilt, I'm not saying that everything, I can't get into it without making it sound one way or the other. I'm not trying to lay blame with anyone. I know I made an error that morning in what I did do, and I shouldn't, and trust me, I have no desire to put myself in any type of situation that can be even misconstrued as something inappropriate as that. I cannot even begin to say how difficult and how much this has destroyed my life, and just having this label, and I'm trying to pick up the pieces of my life and put it back together, and that is why I'm begging that this apartment be allowed, or that I be allowed to live at this apartment, just so I can work on getting my life back together and becoming a citizen, I can't think of the proper terms, a good citizen of the community, and just a member of the community that is, I'm working hard. I'm trying to do everything I can to become just a member of the community that helps people. I mean, that's all I want to do. I've seen several people that are homeless, that are hungry. I've been giving them improve what I can. I'm just, like I say, I'm begging that I get this opportunity from you guys to prove that even though I haven't had treat, I'm not a threat to the community.
Okay, thank you. Is there any more questions from the board, or would anyone like to make a motion?
The only other question I had, is there any idea of how long it would take to go through the courts to get things rolling with the courts? Is that a dumb question?
Any idea? No, I really do not have any idea, how long it would take at all. I was read on the paperwork, I was supposed to get a new appellate attorney within 20 days, or a reason why they won't give me within 45 days. The next attorney is supposed to file a brief with the court, but I don't know what that brief is going to, if they're gonna be able to do that brief or not in 45 days. And then I don't know what's gonna happen, how long that's gonna sit in front of the court. It took 2.5 years just to get to my case to begin with.
Thank you.
I have a legal question. If he would, like, you went to trial and it said you were guilty. But now there's the appeal. So legally, is he guilty or not guilty at this point?
Well, the ordinance reads that, anyone who has been found guilty of a, child sex offense, and as a result of that order, has to register as a sex offender, would need to come in front of this board. So, right now, the last court order is that he has been found guilty. That could be overturned by the Court of Appeals, but until that happens, he has been found guilty, by a jury of his peers. So that's why he has to appear in front of the board today. If his conviction was overturned, the ordinance wouldn't apply to him anymore, and he would not need approval of the board to live within the restricted areas.
Thank you. Okay, anything from the board?
Would it be possible to do something as far as doing something month to month until something happens with the courts?
Well, Peter, you could make that type of motion, if you want. And then we would have to vote on that. I think that's, in my opinion, that's kind of risky for him to enter into a lease where he may have to vacate prior to, the time being up. But by all means, you have that option to make that motion.
Okay, thank you.
Have you signed a 1-year lease or month to month?
I believe it is a month to month. I do not have the lease in front of me, I apologize for that.
Does anyone want to try to make a motion? Well, I'm going to make a motion. I am going to deny Jason to move to 425 5th Street, address specific. Is there a second? Okay. That motion has failed.
I would like to make a motion that we allow Jason to move to that address-specific place and come back in 30 days and do a review to see if anything's happened with this case.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Opposed. Okay, so Jason, you are, able to move to that address and you need to report back to us in 30 days.
Okay, how do I report back to you in 30 days? Via Zoom or written communications?
You don't need to reapply, correct, Deanna? He just will be
Correct.
on the agenda automatically?
Yes, I will automatically put him on the November 17th agenda, so I will send you a letter with the instructions for that meeting, and it's basically a reminder that you need to be on that call for the November 17th meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I would say if you can get any information on where you are in the process, that would be helpful too.
All the information I have is, I haven't even been contacted by another attorney yet. And I should be getting a letter or some sort of information within the next week or two. But as to anything else, that I do not have, so.
Jason, are you getting a public defender appointed attorney, or are you hiring an attorney?
It should be a public defender appointed attorney. I've looked into trying to hire an attorney, and an appellate attorney is $30,000 to $50,000 just for a retainer, and I do not have that.
I was just wondering from a timing perspective.
Okay, well, thank you, Jason. We'll send you something in the mail.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay, is there any discussion that we need to talk, about from the board? No, okay. Our next meeting is scheduled for November 17th at 4 p.m. I do want you all to know I will not be available for that meeting, so if somebody could assume my duties, I would appreciate that. All right, and then, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, thank you. I'll see everybody in December.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Everybody have a good night.
All right,
Aye.
bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.